more than 130 countries reached deal on corporate minimum tax. They have agreed on sweeping changes on how big global companies are taxed, including 15% minimum corporate rate designed to deter multinationals from stashing profits in low-tax countries. The deal announced Friday is an attempt to address the ways globalization and digitalization have changed the world economy. The agreement amongst 136 countries representing 90% of the global economy was announced by the Paris-based Organization for Cooperation and Economic Development, which hosted the talks that led to it. The OECD said that the minimum tax would reap some $150 billion for governments. The global minimum tax at 15% would apply to companies that with more than $864 billion in revenue.
I think that's million. I don't think that.
No, that's billion. That's
annual.
That's worldwide billion.
Okay.
That is billion, of course. It's going to go from 150 billion to 864 billion if they apply this 15% corporate minimum tax across 130 countries who have agreed. Thoughts?
Here's what I want you to do, because I think as the only one who's a full-on business owner, corporate business owner, why don't you give us the good, the bad, the ugly of this? Because you've been pretty opinionated.
I don't think this has to do. I think this has to do more with who doesn't get to compete. Okay, so think about this. How many planets do we have to? How many options do we have on planets to live on today?
We've got the Earth and Mars. Mars is coming.
Well,
Mars,
Elon left his girl, so he's probably got a little bit more time to focus on it
Yeah.
because his girl was a little bit of a distraction,
That's
maybe.
true.
So, but we only have one planet, right?
I agree.
Okay, outside, how many countries do we have in this planet?
What, 200 countries?
Let's say 200 countries, give or take. Sometimes it's 195, sometimes it's 220. Let's say 200, right? Okay, so if all of these guys all of a sudden agree on the same corporate minimum tax rate, where do you go if you're not happy somewhere? Where do you go? What's your option now? What's your choice now? What do you do now? It's the same.
What are the countries that aren't signing on to this? I guess that's
right. And by the way, the one country that Apple, Google, what was the one country?
Ireland.
Kai,
They're all in Ireland,
right?
Yeah.
Now
they were at 12.5%.
They're also agreeing,
and they
to
finally
go
went to
15, right? So why are they so excited about doing this? Ask that question. Why are you so excited about raising the corporate tax rate?
Where's the money going?
I think
they
want to find that money.
What is it, though? What's the motive? What's the real motive to want to do something like this?
I think a term you always use is a race to the bottom. So, like, Hungary is at 9%. Ireland's been at 12.5%. You have countries like Russia, Saudi Arabia, 20%, and China, I think, was at 25%. And then you have the majority of the G7 countries somewhere around like 25, 27%. So I think you always hear, and I'm not a corporate tax finance guy, that's not my thing, but you always hear about Amazon pays zero in taxes. Apple pays zero in taxes. How are they getting away with this? Then you hear the argument that I remember you did it on the whiteboard with me, like, why are we paying any corporate taxes? Because taxes are, individuals are taxed.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a complicated.
Payroll tax.
Yeah, all that. So that's why, the optics of it
it's
is
not only double tax, you're getting triple tax. It's tax on tax on tax. It's
Explain
nonstop. It's the money you're making, you're paying taxes on the income, you're paying taxes on corporate, you're paying taxes on sales, you're paying by the time you really come down to what money stays with you, it's not as big as people think it is. Now, what the whole thing with 0% taxes they're talking about is how a company was worth $500 million, $500 billion. Now it's a $700 billion company. They haven't spent the money. They've made $200 billion. We should tax that, valuation of the company that went up. Or your net worth went up. We should tax that additional wealth that you made. You didn't do anything with the money. You haven't taken it out. It's just your net worth's gone up, right? Not even capital gains. There's not been an exchange yet for the stocks they want to add taxes to that. But I'm asking another question here. Why do you think they're so excited about raising it and making it equal to everybody? Why are they doing that? What's the motive there?
Well, when you want people to stop smoking, you increase the price of cigarettes through taxes. When you want people to stop drinking, you increase the price of vice through taxes. You want people to get off of gas and become carbon neutral, you increase the price. I think that this is something, you talked about the small business owner before. This is, again, one of their things where only few international corporations are going to be able to take on the extra 3-4% in tax. In addition, by the way, to the taxes that they have for import and export. I mean, that was one of the big things that we have with China was the trade deficit. This is something I was completely wrong about. This is something I've changed my mind 180 degrees on. I used to be completely supply side. And I'd say, I don't care if there's a trade deficit. I don't care if China taxes our companies 40% to import there and we tax them nothing to import here. That helps me, the consumer. I can have $6 underwear instead of $9 underwear. That helps me.
Yeah.
Right?
You can get your third pair of underwear anytime you want.
Yeah. Off your girlfriend's floor, Adam. Boom.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyway, the
How
point I'm
was your
trying
date
to
last
make.
night, by the way? Did you have a good time with me?
I did.
Hey, you ditched us. It better been good. We want details.
Did she really come visit? Yeah.
As you were saying about corporate tax.
Hey, your mom came to check on the cats?
Adam, we were hanging out.
Yeah, dude. Long story short, man, like only massive companies that have serious government interconnection are going to be able to handle this on a national level. So, yeah.
What's this here? Let me see.
What's going on here? I never knew that corporate tax would be this risque.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah, I mean,
underpants.
at the end of the day,
Go
like
ahead,
we
Phil.
always talk about competition. I mean,
Yeah.
big business, they can compete, small can't. That's going to affect a lot of people's way of living, especially in some of these smaller countries. You know, one of the things that I've been able to do, you know, being a professional bodybuilder, was travel the world. Who's going to cheat is what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's what I'm thinking right now.
Russia's
you think
paying
Russia's
off
going to,
20?
you know, like who's going to cheat? You think China's going to play fair?
Great.
Well,
point.
China's
China's
already
not
been
even
at
in it.
25%.
They're not, okay,
I mean,
so
it's
they're not
like-
in it.
So
But are their allies, is China's allies going to cheat?
The big domino to drop here
Who's
was
gonna cheat?
Ireland, because Ireland was like the tax haven for all these
Yep.
major corporations at 12.5%.
Yours?
And they
No.
weren't.
They
yeah,
want
not
a
mine.
one. They want a one world government so
Yeah.
bad, dude.
And
If
the-
you
One
can't
world
see it, I
government
mean, this shows it,
so
right?
badly.
I mean, that's exactly what this is.
This is
That's
where's
that's
unelected
the
bureaucracy?
that's the direction.
I mean, where's the money going to go, essentially?
How do they enforce it?
Right.
You know?
How do they enforce what? How do they enforce this?
Yeah.
What do you mean? How do they enforce
Let's
it?
I mean,
let's say
like we have the IRS,
yeah.
but you're talking about outside of the
Everybody
U.S.
has their
Each
own
of these countries have their own tax
No, I
system.
get it.
Each of
Like,
these countries is going to get their money. It's not going to be
Okay.
skirting the tax laws anymore. I think that seems to be the bottom line
So
here.
then
All
if
these
you're-
tax loopholes and paying zero taxes. Sorry, corporations, time to pay.
So
that
then-
seems to be the
so
big
then-
win for Yellen and Biden here. I said it.
So basically, a country like, let's just say Spain, they say, okay, Adam, you did in our country $5 million or whatever. Here's your bill.
And then I took a siesta.
Guys,
How they gonna get
150
you?
to 895. That's how much is increasing. 150 to 895. That's a solid amount.
That's
That's
crazy.
6x overnight, okay, in collecting taxes. It's not a bad deal right there to make that kind of money. Kai, you trying to say something?
Yeah, I don't know how long this is going to go through, because the thing with cartels like that, where everyone has to be in agreement, the only successful cartel there's really been over an extended period of time is OPEC, which controls the oil prices. But with here, all you need is one outlier to just drop through, and then all the countries are suddenly going to start funneling to that country, and they're going to be making a lot of money that way. So,
Well, there's
for
already
me-
countries that haven't signed on to this.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
136 countries have, representing what, 90% of the global economy. There's still 10% lingering out there.
Which
So if you
means
want to go
there's one of those,
business in Bangladesh, have at it, Hoss.
Which
I just
one
don't
of the
know.
major economies is not in it? Do you know?
I don't know. No.
Can you see if you can pull it up in like 30
Not
seconds?
many.
Just think about how
Is this bad
many
though?
improvements.
Is this a
these
bad thing?
Great
This is
and
absolutely a
benevolent
bad thing.
governments.
This is a
are gonna be
bad.
able to
So
do
why
this.
would all these
overnight?
countries go sign on to this?
Because they're greedy and because they're working towards a one world.
I don't think that countries that want to get that money are greedy. They want that tax revenue. That's
For
our
what?
country.
That is greed.
For what?
That's greed. Well, we all want our money.
They're
We're all
what-
greedy.
But taking tax revenue from what? The people that are earning the money.
The
right?
corporations, right?
They're earning money.
It's not like they're
through-
using. So what are they going to use this money for?
Whatever the hell they want as their government, right?
Exactly.
Kenya,
That's a problem.
It
Nigeria,
ain't gonna-
Pakistan, and Sri Lanka.
Jeez.
So if you want to go do
Ireland's
business in
in, though,
Kenya,
no?
Sri Lanka,
Those are
and
the measures
Pakistan,
not supported,
have
so-
at it.
Yeah.
Out of the OECD, the only 4 countries that said no is Kenya, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Which is you ain't got a lot of options.
Yeah,
right
anyone
there.
trying to go do business there?
No, you ain't got a lot of options there. But I hear nightlife in Sri Lanka is actually not bad.
Ooh, I hear Djibouti is where it's at, though.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.